Fragmentary dream. A fragmentary dream is that classic chaotic movie your brain plays where nothing makes sense. For example, you're riding a unicycle made of churros inside a library run by squirrels. These usually happen during NREM sleep, the deep stage when your brain and body are busy doing their nightly cleanup. That's why they feel less like a real story and more like a bizarre, random slideshow. You usually wake up just thinking, okay, that was weird. Euphoric dream. A euphoric dream is your brain's personal highlight reel, leaving you with a huge smile when you wake up. For example, you dream of nailing a job interview, flying over the city like a superhero, or just hanging out with your celebrity crush. This is your brain marinating in good vibes, often reflecting your current state of happiness or fulfilling a deep-seated desire. It's the ultimate form of positive self-talk, happening while you're fast asleep. Nightmare. A nightmare is a scary dream directed by your own brain, filled with classic horror tropes. For instance, being chased endlessly, falling from a great height, or having your teeth fall out. This is your brain running high-stress simulations, often triggered by real-life anxiety. You wake up with your heart pounding, still feeling the dread, and sometimes it takes a minute to remember it wasn't real. It's basically your brain's way of asking, what's the worst that could happen? Recurring dream. A recurring dream is that one dream that's stuck on repeat, like a glitched side quest in a video game. For example, always being late for an exam you didn't study for. This is your subconscious spamming your inbox with an urgent notification. Think of it like a video game character that's stuck on a level. The dream is showing you the bug or the puzzle you need to solve in your real life before you can move forward. Physiological dream. A physiological dream is where your body takes the driver's seat and your mind just follows along. A wet dream, for example, is a totally normal biological process, especially during puberty, driven by hormones. Interestingly, the physical event often happens first, and your brain, being the master storyteller, quickly whips up an erotic dream to provide a context for the real-world sensations it's detecting. Fever dream. A fever dream is the bizarre, chaotic trip your brain goes on when your body temperature is too high. This dream often has no plot, just surreal looping visuals, and a weird sense of dread, like walls melting or corridors stretching forever. This happens because your brain's hardware is literally overheating, disrupting its normal processes. It's different from a nightmare because it lacks a story. It's pure, intense, and sensory chaos. Emotional dream. An emotional dream is like a free therapy session hosted by your brain after a big emotional event. For instance, after a huge argument, you might dream of replaying the conversation. This is your mind's way of sorting through the emotional baggage and trying to make sense of it all. It's an essential part of how we process grief, joy, and anger, helping us wake up with a clearer head. Sleep hallucination. These are the weird glitches that happen as you're falling asleep or waking up. For example, that sudden jerk because you felt like you were falling is a hypnagogic hallucination, also called a hypnic jerk. The opposite, when you wake up and can still see weird shapes or hear sounds from your dream for a second, is hypnopompic. It's just your brain's loading screen, a perfectly normal transition state. Sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is that terrifying glitch where your mind's operating system boots up before your body is ready. That paralysis is actually a safety feature called REM atonia, which stops you from physically acting out your dreams. But when you wake up before it turns off, you're consciously aware, but can't move. Your still dreaming brain then projects its fears onto the room, creating those infamous shadow figures. It's a perfectly natural, though horrifying, desync. False awakening. A false awakening is your brain's favorite prank, where you dream that you've woken up. You might get out of bed, brush your teeth, and get fully ready for the day, feeling every single detail, only for your real alarm to go off. This can happen multiple times in a row, making you question reality itself. It's thought to be your mind hovering in a state between REM sleep and full consciousness. Lucid dream. A lucid dream is that awesome moment you realize, hey, wait a minute, I'm dreaming. And suddenly you're in control. It's like activating God mode in the video game of your mind. You can fly, change the scenery, or conjure a pizza out of thin air. Experienced lucid dreamers learn tricks to stabilize the dream, like spinning around or rubbing their hands together to keep the world from fading. It's a trainable skill for anyone wanting to become an architect of their own inner world. Symbolic dream. A symbolic dream is a dream where your subconscious sends you messages using metaphors instead of words. Your subconscious is an abstract artist, not a news reporter. So instead of telling you, you feel overwhelmed, it shows you a dream of a chaotic flood. Learning to understand these personal symbols is like learning the secret code to your own mind. Compensatory dream. A compensatory dream is your brain's attempt to create balance in your personality. For example, if you are a very shy and timid person in real life, you might dream of being a confident and heroic leader. This dream is exploring the side of you that you suppress during the day. It's your mind's way of saying, hey, don't forget about this part of you. Creative dream. A creative dream is when your brain delivers a stroke of genius while you're asleep. The solution to a huge problem, or the melody for a hit song, can appear because your logical brain, the prefrontal cortex, is taking a nap. This allows for wild, unexpected connections to form between ideas, resulting in a true eureka moment that feels like it came from nowhere. Healing dream. A healing dream is like an early warning system from your subconscious. For instance, dreaming about a problem in a specific part of your body before you feel any symptoms. The theory is, your subconscious is more in tune with your body's subtle internal signals, a process called interoception, than your conscious mind is. It's a fascinating look at the deep mind-body connection. Premonition dream. A premonition dream is one that feels like it gives you spoilers for the future. You dream about an old friend, and they call you the next day. This is likely your brain being a supercomputer, subconsciously picking up on tiny cues and patterns you missed during the day, and making a highly accurate prediction. It's not magic, but it's the closest thing your brain has to a superpower. Game dream. A game dream is what happens when you've spent so much time in a virtual world that your brain starts using it as a setting for your dreams. The dream might have a heads-up display, inventory slots, or game-like physics. This is a modern phenomenon called the Tetris effect, showing how our brains adapt and incorporate new, repetitive experiences into our sleep. Alternate dream. An alternate dream is your brain's most powerful simulation, letting you experience a completely different life with stunning detail. For example, you dream you're an astronaut on Mars with a different family and history. It's your mind exploring the ultimate what-if scenario, a deep dive into your own identity and the paths not taken. Cultural dream. A cultural dream is a dream whose meaning is deeply shaped by your culture and beliefs. For instance, dreaming of an ancestor giving advice is interpreted very differently across the world. This shows that dreams aren't just personal. They are also influenced by our shared stories, myths, and community values, which provide a library of symbols for our minds to use. Telepathic dream. A telepathic dream is that strange and unexplainable event where you and someone close to you have the same dream on the same night. While science has no solid explanation for this, and often calls it a coincidence, for those who experience it, it feels like a powerful moment of deep, unspoken connection. A true mind meld. Epic dream. An epic dream isn't just a dream. It's a feature-length film with a complex plot, stunning visuals, and a story you remember for days. Unlike fragmented dreams, these have a clear narrative structure. A beginning, middle, and end. You wake up feeling like you've just returned from a grand adventure, not just from sleep. Transcendental dream. A transcendental dream is less about a story and more about a profound, overwhelming feeling. For example, a feeling of complete peace, of being connected to the universe, or receiving a deep understanding without any words. It's a mystical experience that often happens during major life changes and can leave you with a new perspective on life long after you've woken up. Enjoy this video. Hit that like button, share it with friends, and subscribe to Smart Simply for more quick and clear ideas. Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell us what other exciting topics you'd like us to explore.